Alright fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, and this video is going to be a little bit different. Um, this isn't going to be like a tutorial video. This isn't going to be a how-to video. I'm not going to be showing you. I'm not going to be showing you guys hardware for the most part, but I just wanted to show how I record videos. I know I use a lot of different programs in doing it, and I just wanted to show off how I at least take my videos from when I first pop the disc in to when they actually process and, before they get kicked out to the video files that I upload to YouTube. So, like I said, I use a lot of different programs. I know you guys aren't seeing them now on my screen. You guys are just seeing my blank desktop, but I normally have I guess you can call it a 3-monitor setup. I have 2 monitors and a 40-inch television that I use as my computer screen, and that's what you guys are seeing now, the TV. And I know I'm going to be talking about the different programs, and as I'm doing it, I'm going to be dragging them on screen for you to see. So I'm not just going to be talking and just have you guys just looking at my Iron Man desktop here. But all right, first things first, I use a program called Bandicam to record. That's I'm hoping you guys can see my mouse here. That's this program here. It has I believe it has a free trial, but I think with that you can only record up to a certain amount. When I first started my YouTube channel, like 5-6 years ago, I used Fraps, and Fraps would kick out a very large video file and everything, which isn't really a problem for me because, like I said, I got tons of hard drive space on my computer. So, but after a while with that, in using it, as like 2 years went by, 2 maybe 3 years went by, as I record videos, the video files would, I'm not going to say lag behind, but basically what happened, Fraps would record the video and the audio of the game. And the longer I would record a video, the longer the audio would trail behind the video. To explain that a little bit better, because I know that's kind of weird, the beginning of the video would be fine. Like the first 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes would be perfect. But as the recording kept going on, the video would be fine. Let's say the video would be, let's say, 10 minutes. But the longer I record, the audio at the end of the day, like when I stop, it was like somehow skipping frames or doing something, but the audio would lag behind the video. Like the audio might be like 15 minutes and the video might be 10 minutes when it should both be 10 minutes. So would always have to splice audio together, cut parts out, try to make it fit, and basically I just said, fuck it, I'm tired of dealing with this shit. And I know a lot of people, they use Audacity to record their game sound, but I never use that because I tried this Bandicam program out, and I'm not gonna lie about it. I downloaded it and loved it. Used it for about 5 months. Loved how it made everything, how it kept everything in sync. It had everything I wanted in the program, right? So I actually went up and actually bought it. You know, that's how much I loved it. I was like, I gotta have this program. I think it's like 30-40 bucks. I went on their website. As soon as I had the cash, I paid, dropped it down on there, paid it, bought it, and been using it for like the past 3 years. Never had a problem with it. And basically, it's nothing really special. It's just, it allows you to record either your desktop or a program that you select. Like, I know most capture cards, they come with software and stuff like that. If I'm playing a computer game, it'll grab the image of that computer game and actually do it. I know right now I have it set for my desktop, so that's why, you guys are seeing what you're seeing. But basically, you can basically set it up through here, how you wanted to record, what format you want it in, what codec you want to record in, and then further set it up. Like if I click on here, it'll allow me to plug in other settings and stuff that I have to do. Like I have to put this one in here, because I record my editing program is Adobe Premiere. We'll get to that later. But in order for the audio to play right in that, once I take the video in, I have to put this one in here. But basically, I found out all that information through their website. They got a great facts page and a great forum page on their website. But basically, this just records the video and audio. it'll record the video, and right here I have it just recording anything that my computer picks up sound wise. So that goes to here. And then I have, you know, what you guys are hearing me through my Blue Yeti Pro. That's right here. So basically this just picks up a video track, and basically 2 audio tracks: the game sound, or my computer sound, I should say, and my my vocals. Now that gets kicked out to a folder, and I can change the folder. Like if I don't want to change it now because I don't know if it's gonna mess up this recording or not. But basically, if I click this button, I can pick which folder I want the files to be, to be saved to. Like if I click on output, that's where it's going right here, and that's right here. The recording that you guys are listening to is right here. That's what these 3 files are. Here's the video track, and here are the 2 audio tracks. Now that gets kicked out to here, and but we'll come back to this later, because I'm gonna show you guys step by step on because I watch tutorial videos myself sometimes, and I truly hate how they don't explain everything, and I really hate the ones that that type in WordPad what they want you to hear. I hate those with a passion. So we're gonna go in step by step, but I just wanted to show you that this is the program I record with. Now let me just move this back off screen. As a matter of fact, no, let me keep that there. All right. Now what I actually record with is the 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞, I think it's 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞 Live Gamer HD. The reason I chose them because my previous 1080 capture card, I think it was called the 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞 HD PVR something, but it was like their capture card that they made before they made their 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞 Live Gamer HD. And I'm going to get into my computer setup in depth in my next tutorial video. So I'm not going to show you guys, the hardware side of things, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm gonna make a whole setup video showing how I do things as soon as I straighten up my room, because it's dirty as fuck right now. But basically, I bought that capture card because I had the money. It had just came out, and I was looking to step my game up with something a little bit better. And they had just came out with that. I had no problems with their previous capture card, and I loved the hell out of it. However, the card has 2 problems, and it's not really a problem with the card. It's just that the software that they want you to use, most HD capture cards, they come with their own proprietary software that they want you to record with. Their program sucks ass. Literally, it is like the most. It feels like I'm using a 7-year-old program. That's how ancient it feels when you use it. It looks cool, has a lot of eye candy, but it doesn't give you that many options. You can't tweak a lot of things. It's just very, I'm not going to say bare bones, because it does have a lot of features in it, but it's pretty cool, but I just don't use it for recording. I don't like using it for recording. But it is a software where you can record using it. I'm not saying you can't. You're supposed to use it to record, because I believe the card only works with that program specifically. However, we'll get into how I can use it later, because I had to find workarounds because I didn't like the software. It's pretty good if you're starting out, if you're basic, and if you want to just basically record what you want to see and basically stream. That program can help you out, but I wanted to do a little bit more. I like having control over what I do. And again, I apologize. I know we're like 9 minutes in this video, and I haven't shown you anything. But I really do apologize about that. But when I get in depth with something, I like to ramble on and talk about every little detail. So basically, my workaround around that program was Media Player Classic, this right here. And basically, this is just a movie player. It's like Windows Movie Player, VLC. I mean, that's all it does is just play content. However, this has a lot of settings you could do with it. Now, the reason I chose this one was because it was a great workaround. I know, at least when I got started using this new capture card, since I didn't like their program, I was looking up other programs that can use it and everything like that, and a lot of people were talking about Virtual Dub and 𝐾𝐨, other types of capture software, and I was like, I don't want to go through none of that. I already got Bandicam, I'm loving it, let me just go with that. The problem is Bandicam doesn't display anything. That's not what it does. It captures your screen. So let me just bring this up here. And basically, you can set up this program, Media Player Classic, as a video player. Like I said, it plays content. It plays video. As you can see, I can set my capture card up to be picked up by this program. Now, the difference is, this right here, where it says AverMedia HD Capture C985 Bus 7, that is the driver for, let's say, my capture card. Now, however, when you go up and download the drivers for the AverMedia Live Gamer HD, they have two drivers. You have the one driver where it gets your computer to recognize the hardware, and you have the second one, which is made for streaming. They have, I think it's called like HD Capture HD Stream Engine or something like that. And basically, once you install that, that allows other programs like this, Virtual Dub, things like that, to pick up on the video capture of whatever your video you're sending in your capture card. That's basically what that does. So you have to install both of those. And once I installed that, you basically set it up. And, I already have it set up here. You just basically tell it what device you wanted to use. When I want to switch between my webcam and this one, that's what I put on. And basically, once you get it set up, you just start to capture. Like if I go here, go to File, and then go to Open Device. And since my capture card is set as my device, it's going to pick it up and start displaying it on screen. Now, you guys aren't seeing anything now because I haven't turned anything on yet. So let me turn on my PlayStation here. And like I said, I have a weird setup, but it all runs in my computer. I know a lot of people use like the Elgato where it splits it off to the TV and to the device and everything like that, but that's not what I use. I have everything running either in my computer, capture-wise, video-wise, and then it gets kicked out to my surround sound. So like I said, I have a very weird setup, and I'll get to that in a whole other video. So once my PlayStation starts here, here it is. Bam! You're seeing what what the PlayStation sees, because my PlayStation gets kicked out by HDMI to the back of my capture card, and now this program is picking it up. And since this program is picking it up, now I can use Bandicam to actually record the game. And what I normally do is I'll take the screen, I'll make it full screen, and then I'll play through the game and talk over it and talk much shit about what game I'm playing. That's what I normally do. And so once that's done, I'll go record games, what have you, whatever I want to record. That's when I basically stop the video. And let me move this to the side. Okay. I basically stop the video. And then I get the audio and video files again. So now we're back to here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys, not with this, because I'm still using this this recording here. I'm going to show you with these other video game files. Let me just pick something here. Let's see, do I have any older recordings here? Okay, here we go. Here's some Battlefield Hardline videos. But no, let me not use that, because they don't have, I'm trying to get something with my vocals on it and some gameplay audio here. I think I might have deleted everything besides what's in these first three. Okay, we're just going to have to go with this right here. Alright, so let me move this out the way. And like I said, I know most people on YouTube, they use Sony Vegas. Since I never really liked that, and I pretty much self-taught myself how to use Adobe Premiere. Because I used to make anime music videos back in the day. And so that's what I grew up with. So we're gonna, I've been using that ever since. So let me just move Bandicam out the way. And basically, Let me just delete that there. That was my latest Dying Light video where the audio was kind of off and messed up. Not my proudest moment. But here you see you have a lot of information on screen. Here is your content, you know, like where you put your video files, you know, everything that you use down here in the timeline, that goes up here. Over here you have, you know, what's displaying in your timeline, like your final product is going to be here. And here is going to be your preview window, your effects, everything like that. And here are your presets. And like I said, I have tons of presets in here. I used to have like 50 more things in here, but I took away a lot of things that I didn't really use because I used to have a preset for every game. Like you see down here where it says Dying Light, Game of Thrones. I used to have one for like every game I played, like Halo, Battlefield, Call of Duty. I had separate presets for everything. Because the reason is because every game is different. Call of Duty, for instance, has a lot of, well, most Call of Duty games, let me say this, depending on which team that makes it, they have a lot of different either bright colors or they have a lot of dull colors. And let's say if I just have, let's say, a set standard, like if I increase the color on it by like, you know, 100 points or something like that, that's going to make everything more colorful. The problem with that is in Call of Duty that might work because you have a dull color palette, so it makes everything more colorful. That's the reason why you see a lot of Call of Duty channels do it, to make everything pop, to make everything brighter and colorful. The problem with that is when I go and play Halo and you run around and shoot energy weapons that are already brightly colored, it makes everything oversaturated to where it's too much color coming out, you know. So you have to have separate things for everything. But I just basically I took away all my custom settings and just basically have just a basic a lighter touch in, you know, adding more color to it. But let me put this back on screen here. Okay, so now once we have these video files, we're done recording, we're gonna highlight the video files like this and just basically drag them over. I mean, you can always go to like import down here, just like import files or whatever, but I just find it easier to do that because I typically leave the Windows Explorer program open. So I leave it open all the time because I normally record damn near everything. So once we have it in here, and basically, like I said, here's your main video track. Here's the two audio tracks. Now, normally, and I have no idea why Bandicam does this, but this #1 track right here, this is going to be the audio of the gameplay of the game that that I'm playing, either on PlayStation, either on computer, what have you. Now, that audio was also on this video track, so I don't know why it breaks it off. Maybe it does it in case you want to separately tweak the game audio separate from the video. But I know you can do that once you get the video in the editing program anyway. So once we have the program here, we're going to drag it down into the timeline. Like I said, this is going to be the video of it. And you see how it automatically puts the audio track on there? That's what this bottom bar is here. Like I said, that's the same thing as this AVI #1. That's the same. It's the same exact track. However, it's on both the video and separate, so I don't know why Bandicam does that. But basically, that's the audio for the video game and for, whatever I'm recording. And here, the #2 up here, that's my vocals coming through my Blue Yeti mic. Now, all of this stuff you see down here is basically text files or overlays that I made for the video. Those have changed throughout the years if any of you guys have been subbed to me for a few years. I was basically trying to do things a little bit differently. I wanted to have an overlay, but I didn't want to have an overlay like you see a lot of COD channels have. That takes up, primarily most of the screen. So that's why I kind of just cropped the video a little bit and just put text on there. It just makes everything more simple. And that's basically what these two. I got the follow me on Twitter one. And then if I have anything else to say at the bottom of the screen, like I know I typically use this for another channel I network can't talk, that I network with, called the Jolly Mage with my friend Jolly. And I normally will post something down there like, go check out his channel, or I used to do like news updates, or like follow me on Twitter, or gonna be uploading this game soon, or I used to do things like that to interact with you guys. But I'm gonna try to use the comments for that a little bit more. But basically, and here's my intro right here. It's right here already. You know, I normally keep this down here. That way I don't got to manually put that back, because then I got to adjust audio again, and that gets to be a pain in the ass. So I normally just keep that running in the background to do the same thing. But basically, I drag the video and the audio track down here, and you know, work my magic on it, do whatever I want to do, whether that's cut parts out. Normally, when I record, I know this doesn't really show it. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. This doesn't really show it, but like if I'm playing a game that has set start and stops, let's say, take for instance in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you have the beginning and end of a story segment. That's where I'll begin recording, and then I'll end the recording. So the recording itself, this bar you see at the bottom, that's going to be the whole segment. If I'm playing, let's say, a multiplayer game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, I'll start at the beginning of the match and end at the end of the match. So it makes a concise video. I know a lot of people will record an hour and then go back and chop it up. Me, I have separate video files for everything. Like I said, it keeps everything simple. It keeps everything simple, concise. I don't have to worry about, oh, did I make sure that I, edit that right? Because everything is already separate. Bandicam is going to record whenever you start and stop. If that's 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever. I can manually start and stop it, or I can set it to where after, let's say, every 12 minutes, it'll automatically stop and start making a new video file. But it's easier to just start and stop whenever you want. So that's why all of this is one file. Normally, it would be a lot smaller than this. But once we get the audio and the video down here, like I said, this is where I work my magic on everything. I take these presets, and I'll drag them over onto the video and the audio file. Over the years, I have changed this preset list like a million times, trying to find the best combination between color correction, audio correction, taking noise out of the mic, like 100 different things through experimentation after a while. And maybe some of you longtime subs can know what I'm talking about as far as, because my voice changed over the past few years. That's not because I've been getting 2 or 3 different mics. I think altogether I've had only 3 mics. I've had a cheap $30 mic that eventually sounded like shit. Then I stepped up to the Blue Yeti, which I loved. And but with me having my voice isn't that deep, but I do have a deeper, bassier voice than, let's say, the average suburban white kid on YouTube. I would always have to lighten that up a little bit, because the more I raise the volume of my mic, to me, the more bassier my voice sounds, and so I had to lighten that up a little bit. So that's why I would put in certain audio things in there to degrade that a little bit, to make it sound a little bit more lighter. And since I already have these, I'm going to go up and explain what each one of these things are. So this one here, this is basically a basic color correction. It's going to crop the video on the top and the bottom, so it's going to add the little bars, and it's going to add a sharpening effect to it to kind of make it a little bit more crisper. Because YouTube, the video content is fine on my computer, but when you upload it to YouTube, it's going to reconvert it into its own Flash format, and that kind of degrades the video by a little bit. So to kind of offset that, that's why this sharpen is here. And basically, once you have these set up, I'm going to show you how to make these. Once you have these set up, the reason why I have them like this as presets, because now I don't have to do anything. I already know what they are. I can just drag it over like this, and bam. Then you're going to appear right here. These are all of the effects that's going to be on the highlighted clip down here that you have, whether it be audio and video, whichever one you have highlighted. These are going to be all of your effects. And like I said, here's the one where it crops it. See how it adds the black bar here on the top and bottom of the video. Here's the color correction of how much color it's going to try to add to the video picture. And if I scroll further down, here is the sharpening effect. It adds like a 20 on sharpen a little bit. And this is where you go in and make your adjustments as far as what do you want the video picture to look like. Like if I want to add more color, just go down here to saturation. Let me make it, 180. Then it makes the colors different. Just like if I put in 300 right here, watch the video picture over here on the right. It adds tons more. You know, if I take it all the way down, it's going to be in black and white. So that changes, you know, the color on it, and you go in and you just it's basically trial and error. There's no set numbers that people like to use because everybody is different. It's going to be pretty much based on your own personal experience, what kind of monitors people have, what kind of color settings they have, what kind of graphics settings they have built in their displays. So you can't really make something that's going to work for everybody. It's not going to work. So I normally have just set values that I use for myself, and I haven't had anybody complain. I know I'm kind of anal when it comes to video picture quality and everything like that, so I try to stay on top of it as best I can. And the only times where mine really where my video picture quality sucks is when I'm having like hardware issues or something's not working, you know, the way I want it to. But you make all your changes to your video, and now that I have that done, I am going to go in. I normally also do that makes the picture quality better, adds more color, things like that. Now, what I normally do, let me go back to PlayStation, and I'm going to show you guys what I do on here. Let me just blow this up here. I guess what game? All right, let me just go with DBZ. All right, now basically, if this was the first time I'm popping the game in, I'm going to show you guys. The reason why I'm going to go back is because I'm going to show you guys why I have to add the next preset. And I'm going to explain that as soon as this game starts up here. Alright. Alright, come on, autosave. Alright. Now, basically, if this was the first time I was starting this game up, I'll always go to options. Always go to the sound options. Now, what I normally do, I turn on the subtitles and everything, but normally the game would be like this. When you first started, everything is going to be maxed out. I normally take, if possible, now a lot of games don't even have this, like Halo, and it like pisses me off because it makes everything harder to edit once you once you actually record it, and you want to get the sound levels right. Basically, when you first pop in a game, I'll turn down the music and the sound effects. So I'll turn that down to normally, I know this doesn't really show it well. I know most games have like a 0 to 100. I normally turn the music and the sound to, let's say, about 60, 70, 80%. And I'll leave the voice. I'll leave the voice at 100. But if I choose to take that down, I may take that down to 90. And but the reason I do that is for two reasons. Because when I record multiplayer games, I have the person I'm playing with. His voice is going to be recorded as well as mine. And the more sound effects and the background music you have with the actual gameplay, since Bandicam records everything on one track for the most part, gameplay-wise, the person I'm playing with, or let's say I'm in a party, that party's vocals are going to be the same as the sound effects. So if I'm playing something like Destiny or Call of Duty or Battlefield where you have a lot of guns going off, then their voices are going to get drowned out by the audio. Now, there's very little I can do with that once I get it in the editing program. So that's why I take these down, and the voice volume for the characters in the game, like the NPCs or what have you, will be fine. And that makes the party chat louder. Now, basically what that does, let me drag this back off here, is now you have a video clip where the sound effects are low. So, in addition to changing the video picture, what I do here is that's why I have these game volume 10 and game volume 20. So I'll normally, this increases the audio by like 10 decibels for the game. So I drag that on there on the game's audio. And now, in addition to having the picture change, the audio has been raised on it. So now that's fine. That's ready to go. Now I have to deal with my vocals, and this has been taking me a long time trying to get right. That's why you see from here to here are different vocal settings that I've had for my Yeti Pro. And besides the Yeti Pro, I had even different ones for the original Blue Yeti, because the mics make my voice sound a little bit different. But I eventually got together, like, this was the old one that I used. I used to use this one because this filter, what this basically does is when I'm not talking, it makes it so you don't hear the background noise. Like, it cuts out the background noise. When the vocals hit a certain point, that's when it'll start actually picking up, and then when they drop below that point, you guys won't hear me on the video. So I used to use this to do that. That cuts out background noise. I added less bass to my voice. That's what that does. I added more treble to my voice. These these equalizers here, I just use it as a basic audio buff to raise my mic volume. Now, after a while, in this high pass, this kind of takes the airiness out of the video. Not out of the video, but out of my mic audio. It takes that ambient background noise and kind of cuts it out. But it's still there, really, but it just kind of filters it out so you guys hardly hear it on the final product. And basically, after messing with these for the past 5 years, I basically just cut out a lot of things that I used to use. So now I really only use either two settings, depending on how I'm recording with my mic. Sometimes I'll turn the gain all the way down and raise the gain up on the actual audio clip in Adobe Premiere. So that's what this one is here, where it says gain only. So, or this one here where it says no mic gain. If I was recording this, let's say by myself like I'm doing now, I'll use this one. And I'll have no gain settings on my actual mic, and when I drag it over, that's why I have the extra equalizer volume here, because I have to raise it up by like 40 points in order for you guys to hear me on the video. This makes it a little bit easier, that way I don't peak my mic out and actually blow out the not really blow out the mic, but I don't peak the audio and have my voice get distorted when you guys hear me on the final product of the video clip. So I normally record two different ways. If I'm recording with, let's say, another person or playing a multiplayer game with other people, depending on how my voice sounds to them. Like, I know when I play with Jolly, when I'm, because let's take, this gameplay here. We was playing Never Alone. I know he records a certain way. And to him, if I record, let's say, how I normally record with my Yeti Pro, he can't hear me. Because my mic, I turn the gain all the way down. So I turn it up a little bit. Now, if I turn it up a little bit, I don't need this extra equalizer raising my mic volume even more, because it's going to make my voice sound distorted. So that's why I have this one here. When I turn my mic gain all the way down, this is the one I use. Or, I'm sorry, this is the one I use. That's why it says no mic gain. Now, when I have to turn it up, that's when I use this one here and do the gain. So depending on how I record, like I said, I drag whichever one over down to here. And if I decide to add in any, like this right here where it says check out Jolly's channel or whatever, if I decide to put that in there, sometimes I will, sometimes I don't. That's why it was grayed out before. But if I decide to do it, I'll keep this clip in here, and I'll normally keep my my social tags up here. I'm probably gonna change the way this looks, by the way, once I get things set up again. But I normally just drag that out so it takes up the whole video clip. That's what this is here. And that'll make it display throughout the whole video. And basically what these are just text text boxes like you would see in Photoshop and other things like that. And it's basically just choosing your font, choosing the color, how you want the font to look, and just basically displaying it where you want. And you can make it like a still text box where it's just displayed on screen, or you can make it rolling where it scrolls from one side to another. That's basically what you do in here. You basically change your text options. But since I already have it the way I want it, I don't have to change anything. And once I do that, I'm pretty much done. That's it. That's all the editing I do. I can do more, but like I said, given the way I record my gameplay videos, I try to keep everything simple, like I said, so I don't have to do any follow-up editing, because everything is already one big clip. I don't have to cut clips up, and I don't gotta edit. I don't gotta do none of that unless I choose to do it. Now, if I'm playing something, let's say like Dark Souls, where I'm like dying 50 billion times, I might have to go in and cut that out. You know, that's very easy for me to do. Or if I'm making a new intro, something else which I gotta do, you know, probably in the next month or two. That's when a lot of editing comes into play, and you know, like if I was showing you that, that's gonna have a lot of cuts and chops up during the timeline here, basically because I have to get everything timed up right, and I gotta insert clips and take clips out and things like that. So, but normally my normal gameplay videos, it's real simple. It's everything is the only thing I gotta make sure is that the timeline isn't, let's say, like this, to where it's not lined up properly. I have to line everything up, you know, because that way it automatically syncs everything. I don't have to go back and tell it to, you know, to sync. You know, like I know my friend Jolly, the channel I network with, he spends a lot of time because of how he records, syncing up the gameplay audio and everything like that. I don't got to do that because it's basically Bandicam, you know, records in segments. It's going to record the time at the beginning and the time at the end. All I got to do is just line them both up, and then they'll automatically be in sync. I don't have to do anything after the fact. So once I get that, you know, once I add my presets, do whatever I'm going to do to the video, I just normally save out the audio, save out, not the audio file, but save out the actual file. And here you guys can see these are all my past videos that I've uploaded for like the past 2 months. You know, I normally will think of like a decent title to put on right here. Like I know with, let's say, Dying Light, when I record that, I normally will put, like, if I'm doing a particular quest in that game, I'll put the quest title in there. So that's what Public Face is. If I'm doing something like Xenoverse, I'll normally, since the chapters in the story mode of that game have titles, that's what I normally put. That's why it says Immortal Hercule at the Cell Games, because that was the name of that chapter that I recorded. If I'm not doing that, I'll think of something, let's say, you know, like this. This was me and Jolly pretty much talking about a topic in a video. We're not really talking specifically. We were just, you know, random gameplay talking and things like that while I was recording the Hub World, and he probably didn't even know I was recording it. But basically, I'll think of like an interesting title or a something to name the video. If I was playing something like let me see. Do I have any Dragon Age videos in here? Here we go. See how on Dragon Age, these titles, for the most part, they're not. They're like the quest names also. But I know if I go all the way down to, okay, let's take this one right here. This is a prime example. See how it says this house is clear? I didn't really start tailoring my titles to the quest names until probably halfway when I was through Dragon Age Inquisition. And since I know for Dragon's Dogma and, let's say, the first half of Dragon Age Inquisition, and also my Skyrim videos, I would just record, let's say, what I was doing, then go back and check over the video and pretty much see, I'm not going to say something interesting, but I would talk about or make the title of the video about something that happened in the video. Like if I was cleaning out bandits from a cave, I would type in killing bandits in a cave or something like that. You know, I would name it. Like in this video here, this was the haunted house quest in Dragon Age Inquisition, and I named it "This House is Clear" because it reminded me when I was playing it was of Volter Poltergeist when they thought that they killed the you know, the spirits from the house. That's what the woman said. She said, "This house is clear," when it was, you know, once they cleaned the house out from spirits. So that's what it made me think of. So that's why I titled it. But like I said, I'll think of an interesting title. I'm just gonna name this one like Test 2. You know, nothing fancy, but. And then normally I will go to whichever hard drive that I want to save to. Like here's all my hard drives. I did have one more, but basically. That hard drive kind of failed, and I know I got the porno drives here. You know, yes, I do watch porn. That's why you see XXX. So that one guy in the comments is gonna be like, "Oh, why you watch porn?" I got a lot of porn on my computer. You see how much space I have? Yeah, like a terabyte. I have tons of space on here, so porn takes up a good chunk of it, probably like a third. But Anyway, back to what we were talking about. I normally pick a file. I'll pick an area to save to. So I already have that preset because it saves everything in the same folder. That's why everything is already in here. So I'll basically save it. Bam, that's saved. So now what I'll do is I'll just close this out. I'm done. Unless I'm editing another video. Like if I had to do like one more. Like this video was these first 3 files. So if I cut this out, I'll delete that from the content over there. Then that automatically deletes it down here. Then I'll work on the next one. So I'll just do rinse and repeat. I'll drag them down here again, line them up, and then add my presets. I'll go through the whole process again for however many videos I recorded that day. But since we're only doing one, then I close this out. No, I don't want to save it because I already did. And I got Robert Downey Jr. just staring at me in the face. Can't wait for the next Avengers movie, by the way. I'm a huge comic book fan. But anyway, then I'll start this right here. And this is Adobe Media Encoder. And this is basically a encoder program that comes with the Adobe software suite that basically allows you to do multiple files. When I was in Premiere, you don't have to just save it. You can process it right then and there. The problem with processing it in there is you can only do one at a time. I have to load up a Premiere session, edit the video on the timeline, then process that video out, and then I gotta load in the second one and go through all that. So what this basically does, if you have multiple files, let's say I record 9 to 20 videos in one evening. If I wanted to do 20 videos, or process 20 videos, I gotta edit each one of those 20, dump them all in here, which I'm going to show you guys how I do it, and then process them down a row. And it's going to process them one after another. So basically, once I launch this, I go to add, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those save files that I did, and just to show you guys, I'm going to also take these Dying Light videos. Now, I just uploaded these, let's say, last night. I think the only one that's actually public is this one right here that's highlighted. And these other ones are set to upload, let's say, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But I'm going to take all of them, that way I can show you guys what I mean. So once I open them, let me drag this over here. It's going to open up this, and it's going to read every one of those save files. And when it does, it's going to be like, okay, what do you want to do? The timeline sequence? Because you can have multiple sequences in a save file. If you have, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to pick which one you want to process. Since I only have one timeline down there, that's the only thing that's showing up. So I click on that, and then it's going to read the next save file. And then it's going to just do the same thing. It's going to go through every save file. Since I picked, I think, 5 here, I have to click on every save file 5 times. That's why after I double click on the timeline, it'll appear up here in the corner. So I'm just going to wait for this to go through. And like I said, it's going to go through it 5 times. Alright, now once it has all of them, it's going to stop. And this is where the encoding program is going to be like, okay, how do you want to encode this video? What format do you want it in? How do you want the bit rate settings and all that set up to be? Basically, again, this is all trial and error, experimentation. You want to go through and pretty much find out what works best for you. I can give you my settings, I can show you my settings, but that may not fit how you want to do it. And what I mean by that is, if I highlight all these videos, and you can go in through and set different presets, like again, this also has presets to how you want to encode it. Like you see YouTube is an option down here, different formats, HD TV, different formats is also here, like what kind of video file you want, H.264, MP4, Windows Movie, AVI, whatever. Like I said, this is where you choose what's best for you. I can't tell you what's the best for your setup. A lot of times these different formats have different compression rates, different bit rates. So basically at the end of the day, I can record, let's say, a 10-minute video and the file might be a gigabyte. But if you want something smaller, let's say you don't have the amount of hard drive space I have, you want a smaller video file, something that's, let's say, 50 megs, then you have to pick a different format and a different compression rate to get that 50 megabyte file, you know. But basically, if you look at a lot of tutorials and a lot of things on YouTube and video editing for YouTube, they'll say encode the H.264 because it's a good quality codec that doesn't really take away a lot from the video picture when you process it. So that's going to be already selected. Since I already have my setups here, I normally have different presets for this, just like Adobe Premiere, depending on how I want the video. Normally I have this set for my webcam. Like here's an older setting, here's a newer setting. I also have different bit rates that I've tried out, trying to find what's the best picture to video size ratio, you know, because the more you compress the video to make the file smaller, the lower the bit rate's going to be. So at the end of the day, the final product isn't going to look as good. So you have to find that, you know, whatever balance works for you and what, you know, whatever kind of content or quality you want to put up. So, but basically, I have, this is an older setting, this is a newer setting. This and this setting, they're pretty much the same. The only difference between them is the frames per second. This is 30 frames per second, even though it doesn't say it. But I can click on it and show it, and this is 60 frames per second. When YouTube announced that they were going to switch their website to 60 frames per second, I think they announced it like something like 6 to 8 months before they actually did it. When they announced it, since it's not really bothering me one way or another, because normally the more settings and the better quality of video you do, it has to process longer than normal. And I know a lot of people, again, that all depends on what kind of computer setup you have, because if you have a fast computer, or if you have, let's say, like a slower laptop computer, I can encode a file in, let's say, a half hour, because I have a fast computer. But if somebody has, let's say, a typical average laptop, it might take them, let's say, 2 hours to do that same file. So like I said, it all depends on what's your hardware setup, because you have to find out what works best for your setup. So you might want something that don't, you know, take a long time to process, because then you process in one video out for a few hours, and if you want to put out multiple videos, that's going to slow you down. So basically, since YouTube announced it, I've been uploading every video that had a higher frame rate of, let's say, 30 or higher in 60 frames per second. So I've been doing it for a long time now. And basically, here's the settings page of my settings here. And basically what this does is, this is where you go in here and you decide how you want your video to look. What do you want the resolution to be at? What do you want the frame rate to be at? How do you want the aspect ratio to look at? How do you want it to encode the bit rate, whether it be constant, 1 pass, 2 pass? What's the bit rate quality number? You know, basically that's what this is. I know I'm not using the right terminology for that, but that's basically what this is. The higher the number, better the bit rate, longer the processing time, but the better video picture you're going to get at the end of the day. That's why if you see me increase this number down here at the bottom, this is going to be the file size of a video. Typically, I have big file sizes because, you know, I like big things, because I have the hard drive space for it. Normally, bigger the file, better the quality. But I don't want to make it too big because, like I said, there's also a plus and minus to everything. So the bigger the file, the longer it takes to upload to YouTube, because YouTube's uploading system is like slow as hell for some reason. Some days it can be really fast, other days it can be really slow. So like I said, this all depends on what works best for you. This is where you define how you want your your video quality, because as you see, as I'm lowering this, the file size goes down. You know, but I normally keep it around 15, because, ooh, let me go back in there. But I normally keep it around 15 because this will give me great picture quality. And yeah, the file size is going to be big, but I can handle a big file size. So, alright, so basically once you, like I said, this is all trial and error. I can change a couple options, check a few of these boxes down here to have the video processed like 3 or 4 times to give me the 100% best quality video possible. But again, that'll just triple the rendering time, and for me, I don't really need it. The video, the video quality is already going to be damn good, so I don't have to worry about that at all. That's why I don't check none of these boxes. You're just going to be increasing your rendering time, and maybe this will be better if, let's say, if you were recording live action with like an actual camcorder camera, maybe those processing options would be better. But for recording gameplays, consoles, things like that, you really don't need all of that extra stuff. I mean, you really don't. As long as you just make it so that when you process it, the picture and the pixel quality don't look fuzzy or blurry, then you're good. You want it to look, as crisp as possible. And for me, 15 looks that way. So once I have all this set, I normally save it and click the OK button. I'm going to click cancel because, like I said, I already made it. So that's why it's already named. And from here, I just click on start, and that's it. I normally will lay down, go to sleep, or I'll drag this off, drag this to one of my other screens, and I'll play another game, or record something else, or watch YouTube videos. But basically, I'll just let this go in process, and basically, this will go through every one of these saved video files, and actually, create the video file itself. And let me cancel that because that's already done. I don't want to do that again. But basically, once these complete, once the first one completes, it'll jump to the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, and then the fifth one. And then it'll just be done completely. And once it's done completely, and this will take a minute because I stopped it early. But here, we don't need that for right now. Once this is complete and done, it'll kick out the video files to this hard drive here, and once it reads everything, I have a lot of files in this folder here. This is where all my video files get kicked out to. That's why you see a lot of older video titles and stuff in here. Normally this gets filled up every 6 months, and after, let's say, 6 to 8 months of all of my past videos, I'll go in and actually clean out the ones that I really don't need. Like a lot of this I've already uploaded to YouTube, probably from here to here. I've already uploaded all of these to YouTube, so I just got to go back and delete them. Every one of these, for the most part, they're bigger files. They're going to be like around 1 to 2 gigs, and like I said, I don't really need them anymore, but I just like to keep them just in case, let's say, YouTube fucks up and I got to re-upload the video. So I'll keep them for a few months, and if nothing happens with the video, or if nothing happen on YouTube's end with it, I'll normally just delete the file. But like I said, normally that takes like 7 to 8 months, for me to actually do that. So I know a lot of this content is actually old. So, but basically it gets kicked out to right here. Now the 4 files that we had were these files right here. I don't have the test file because, like I said, that one didn't here are the 4 Dynamite videos that we had in the Adobe Media Encoder right here. And basically, once you get to this point, you're pretty much done. Like, here's your video files. Like, if I wanted to play these right now, I can just, let me just open up one of them. Open up this one. It's going to launch VLC because that's my media player. Then it's going to start playing it. Now it's pretty much done. I don't have to do anything with it besides just upload it to YouTube. So that's when I go to YouTube. I go to their upload page, and then I actually just upload the video and add tags, add descriptions, all of that good stuff. So, and then I choose when I want it to go public, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I know I kind of ran one on for like 43 minutes so far, but that's my process from beginning to end. I mean, I know a lot of people, they won't show everything, but or talk about everything that they do because they feel that they're giving away like their own secret settings that they use to make their videos look good. But for me, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. If you guys want to use them, go ahead and use them. If you don't, you don't. I mean, like I said, I would recommend finding out what works best for you and your setup. If you guys happen to be in into video editing, or maybe you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel and everything like that. I'm basically going to do another video like this. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to show my setup and do a setup video where I'm going to show you the different hardware that I actually use, that I was talking about. Like in the beginning, I was talking about the Live Gamer HD capture card and all this kind of sort of stuff. I'm going to show you guys how I have my setup, because like I said, it's kind of weird how it's set up. But given the hardware and the stuff that I used, it works best for me based on my setup. So I'm going to make another video showing that sometime down the line. But if you guys want to see more videos like this from me, please do let me know. Comment down there in the comment box. Let me know what you guys think. I know I typically make longer videos than need be because I like to talk about every detail, but I know there's a bunch of people out there who want to know everything. And I've always been the kind of person who, let's say, I know my dad raised me and my brothers to always think for ourselves and have our own mind. And you can never have enough intelligence about any given particular subject, because I'd rather tell you guys everything about how I do it than have you guys take what I say and use it to form your own opinions about how you want to do things, rather than give you guys, let's say, only limited things like, okay, this is how I import a video into Adobe Premiere, because then that's the only part it's showing you. It's not showing you from beginning to end to make you form your own concepts in your head and think for yourself. So that's another reason why when I get into a subject or I talk about something, I will just talk about everything that's related to it to help to make you guys form your own opinion. So, but anyway, like I said, I'm rambling again. Like I said, if you guys want to see more from this from me, please do let me know. And I don't mind making videos about anything. Like I said, I know I'm going to do my setup video, but if you guys want me to do anything more, anything specifically, let's say like how I have my PlayStation 4 set up, my settings in there, how I record the party chat in there, or what kind of headset I use, or what kind of controllers do I use, or everything like anything gaming related like that. I don't mind, making videos about that and showing it to you guys either. I'm trying to do a little bit more than just my gaming stuff on my channel. Not that I feel like I need to, but it just helps get some of my personality across and showing you guys how I do things. So if you stuck it out this far, I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.